The day the alien ship appeared in the sky was the day Alex Hayes' life changed forever. He stood on the military base runway, his heart beating fast as the strange craft landed. It glowed with blue-white light and made no sound. As head of Earth's first contact team, Alex had trained for this moment for years. "Stay calm, everyone," he told his team. "Remember your training." The ship's door opened slowly. Bright light poured out, making Alex shield his eyes. When he looked again, he saw them, the aliens. They looked almost human, but their skin glowed from within, like they had stars under their skin. They were tall and graceful with large, silver eyes. One alien stepped forward. "I am Ambassador Trell of the Lumerian people. We come in peace." Alex stepped forward too. "I am Commander Alex Hayes of Earth. We welcome you to our planet." Behind the ambassador stood a female alien whose glow seemed brighter than the others. She wore what looked like a crown of light. She stared at Alex with curious eyes. "This is Princess Lyra Solarian," the ambassador said, noticing Alex's gaze. "Daughter of our High Queen." The princess nodded but said nothing. Her silver eyes studied Alex like he was a puzzle she wanted to solve. "We have much to discuss, Ambassador," Trell said. "We need Earth's help." Later that day, in a large meeting room, the Lumerians explained why they had come to Earth. Their people were at war with an enemy called the Void Collective. The Void were winning because they could predict every move the Lumerians made. "Your species is different," Ambassador Trell explained to the room full of world leaders. "Humans are unpredictable. You use emotion as well as logic. The Void cannot predict you." "You want us to fight your war?" asked General Winters. "We want an alliance," the ambassador replied. "The Void will come for Earth next. Together we can stop them." Alex watched Princess Lyra during the meeting. She rarely spoke, but her eyes missed nothing. Sometimes he caught her watching him too. That night, the world leaders held a party to welcome the aliens. Alex found himself alone on a balcony, away from the noise. He was surprised when Princess Lyra joined him. "You do not enjoy the celebration, Commander Hayes?" she asked. Her voice had a musical quality to it. "I needed some fresh air," he explained. "And please call me Alex." "Alex," she repeated as if testing the word. "Your planet is beautiful, so full of life and color." "Thank you. What is your world like?" "Lumira is mostly city now. We built over much of our nature long ago. That was a mistake, I think." Alex was surprised by her honesty. "Your people seem very advanced." "In technology, yes. But we have lost much too. We no longer feel emotions the way humans do. Our scientists removed them long ago to make us more logical." "But you seem to have emotions," Alex said. The princess's skin glowed a bit brighter. "Some of us are different. Some of us are trying to bring back what was lost." A shooting star crossed the sky. Lyra pointed to it with wonder. "A meteor," Alex explained. "On Earth, some people make wishes when they see one." "Wishes?" Lyra asked. "It's just a tradition. You see a shooting star and make a wish, something you want to happen. And does it come true?" Alex smiled. "Not usually. It's just for fun." "What would you wish for, Alex Hayes?" she asked, her silver eyes focused on him. Maybe it was the strange night, or the way the starlight reflected in her eyes, but Alex spoke without thinking. "I wish I had a wife like her," he whispered, not meaning to say it aloud. The princess turned to him, her skin glowing brighter. "Yes, that is a possibility worth exploring." Alex felt his face grow hot with embarrassment. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." "Do not apologize for honesty," she said. "It is rare among my people now. I find it refreshing." Before Alex could respond, alarms began to sound across the base. His radio crackled with urgent voices. "Commander Hayes to command. Center, unknown ships entering atmosphere." Lyra's face grew serious. "The Void. They have found us sooner than expected." Together they ran back into the building. On screens in the command center, they could see black ships appearing in the sky. They seemed to swallow the light around them. They tracked our ship, Ambassador Trell said, his glow dimming with fear. A message appeared on all screens and devices across Earth. A dark figure spoke in a cold voice. People of Earth, we are the Void Collective. Surrender the Lemurians to us or your planet will be destroyed. You have one Earth day to decide. The room erupted in panic. World leaders argued about what to do. Some wanted to fight. Others wanted to give up the aliens to save Earth. Alex felt a hand on his arm. It was Princess Lyra. Come with me, she whispered. There isn't much time. Time for what? To save both our worlds. She led him out of the chaos toward the Lemurian ship. Alex didn't know why he followed her, but something told him to trust her. As they reached the ship, more Lemurians hurried inside. What's happening? Alex asked. We must leave Earth now, Lyra explained. But I'm not leaving you behind. I can't leave Earth, Alex protested. If you stay, the Void will win. Earth will fall. But together we might find a way to save everyone. Alex looked up at the sky where more black ships were appearing. Then he looked at Lyra, her face filled with determination and something else, an emotion he couldn't name. Do you trust me, Alex Hayes? She asked. He took a deep breath and made his choice. Yes. And he stepped onto the alien ship, not knowing what waited for him among the stars. Alex felt the ship move as soon as the door closed behind him. Lemurian crew members rushed around, their skin glowing with urgent blue light. Princess Lyra led him through curved hallways that seemed to be made of living metal. What about the other people on Earth? Alex asked, trying to keep up with her. We can't just leave them. Our fleet will defend your planet while we escape, Lyra explained. But you must come with us. You are important. Before Alex could ask why, two Lemurian medical officers approached. They guided him to a chamber with a strange pod in the center. What is this? Alex asked, suddenly worried. A medical pod, Lyra said. It will protect you during our jump. Jump? We must travel very far, very fast. Human bodies need protection for such travel. The medical officers helped Alex into the pod. It felt like lying in warm water, though. He stayed dry. Clear panels closed over him. Wait, Alex said, his voice rising with panic. I didn't agree to leave Earth. You're kidnapping me. Lyra placed her hand on the pod's clear cover. You wished for me, she said calmly. Among my people, such declarations are binding. You are now my consort. That's not how wishes work on Earth. Alex tried to sit up, but the pod held him gently in place. Rest now, Lyra said. When you wake, we will talk more. A sweet smell filled the pod. Alex felt his eyes grow heavy. The last thing he saw was Earth through a viewing window, with black, void ships descending toward it. No, he whispered as sleep took him. Alex woke to the sound of soft beeping. The pod was open. He sat up slowly, his head spinning. Through a large window, he saw a planet with 2 moons. It was not Earth. Where am I? He asked the empty room. You are on my ship in orbit around Lemura Prime, answered Princess Lyra as she entered. She now wore armor that fit her body like a second skin. It glowed with the same light as her. You kidnapped me, Alex said, standing up. His legs felt weak, but anger made him strong. Take me back to Earth. I cannot, Lyra said. Earth is under attack. The Void Collective began their invasion as we left. Alex felt like he'd been punched. My family, my friends. The Void will not kill humans. They want Earth's resources and people. They will control, not destroy. And that's supposed to make me feel better, Alex shouted. You took me away when I could have helped. Lyra's skin dimmed slightly. You can help more from here. You are key to our plan. What plan? Why am I here? Lyra moved closer. Human DNA contains something we lost long ago, the ability to be truly unpredictable. My scientists believe we can use your genetic material to create weapons the Void cannot predict. Alex stepped back. My genetic material? You brought me here to be a lab rat? No, Lyra said quickly. Not just that. I chose you specifically, Alex Hayes. Why me? Because you saw me as a person, not just an alien princess. You spoke from your heart on that balcony. Hearts are rare among my people now. Alex wasn't sure what to say. Part of him was still angry, but another part was curious. If I help you, he said slowly, can we save Earth? Yes, Lyra said. That is my promise. To you. Over the next few days, Alex learned about Lemurian life. Their ship was huge, like a small city. Most Lemurians were polite but distant. They seemed to find emotions uncomfortable. Lyra explained that long ago, her people decided emotions were inefficient. They changed their genes to remove them. For thousands of years, they lived by pure logic. But then we met the void, she said, as they walked through a garden on the ship. They evolved differently. They became a hive mind, many bodies with one shared consciousness, and they learned to predict what purely logical beings would do. And that's why they're winning the war, Alex realized. Yes, we can only do what is logical, and they know what that will be. But humans, Lyra looked at him with wonder. Humans do illogical things all the time. You follow feelings, you take risks, you act on faith. Alex laughed. Those aren't always good things. In war, unpredictability is an advantage, Lyra said. Later, they visited a lab where Lemurian scientists studied samples of Alex's blood. They explained their plan to create weapons with randomized algorithms based on human DNA patterns. But there's something else, one scientist said to Lyra in a low voice. The human's presence affects your condition. Alex frowned. What condition? Lyra seemed reluctant to explain. Finally, she said, I am part of a secret project. Some of us are trying to bring back emotions to our people. My DNA was modified. I can feel things other Lemurians cannot. Is that why you glow brighter sometimes? Alex asked. Yes. Light patterns show our internal states. Most Lemurians have very stable patterns. Mine change with my feelings. And my presence affects this. The scientist nodded. Human proximity accelerates the process. The princess is evolving faster than expected. Is that dangerous? Alex asked. Very, Lyra admitted. If the High Council discovers how different I have become, they will see me as defective. They would remove me. Alex felt protective suddenly. They'd hurt you for having feelings. They would see it as fixing a broken machine, Lyra said. Nothing more. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Earth under attack, and about Lyra's strange situation. She was becoming more human-like because of him, and it put her in danger. He walked to the ship's observation deck. Lyra was there watching the stars. Couldn't sleep? She asked without turning. No, too many thoughts. That is the human way. Always thinking, feeling. Alex stood beside her. What's it like, getting your emotions back? Lyra was quiet for a moment. Frightening, wonderful, like waking up after a long sleep. Do you regret it? No, she said firmly. My people lost something precious when they gave up their hearts. I want mine back, even if it's dangerous. Alex looked at her glowing skin, at the way it pulsed slightly when she spoke of feelings. Without thinking, he reached out and touched her hand. It felt warm and surprisingly soft. I'll help you, he said, with your plan to fight the void, and I'll help protect you from your council. Lyra turned her hand to hold his. Her skin glowed brighter where they touched. And I will help you save Earth, she promised. Together. As they stood there, an alarm sounded. A crew member rushed in. Princess, Void Scouts have been detected near our position. They may have tracked us. Prepare for battle, Lyra ordered, her voice changing to one of command. She turned to Alex. Now you will see how Lemurians fight, and perhaps you can show us how humans would do it differently. Alex felt fear but also a strange excitement. He was billions of miles from home, holding hands with an alien princess about to fight an enemy he barely understood. Nothing in his life had prepared him for this moment. But somehow, he knew what to do. "Let's show them what unpredictable really means," he said. Lyra's smile was small but real. Perhaps one of her first true smiles. Her hand squeezed his. "Yes," she said. "Let's do that." The Void Scouts were no match for the Lumerian ship. Alex watched in amazement as Lyra commanded her crew with perfect calm. Their weapons fired beams of intense light that seemed to fold space around the enemy ships. "You make it look easy," Alex said when the brief battle ended. "This was nothing," Lyra replied. "Just a small scouting party. The real Void fleet is much more powerful." In the days that followed, Lyra began teaching Alex about Lumerian technology and fighting methods. They spent hours in a training room that could create solid light objects to practice with. "Your combat techniques are very structured," Alex noted as they sparred with light staves. "All your moves follow patterns." "Logical patterns," Lyra agreed. "That is our weakness. The Void knows all our patterns now." Alex moved suddenly, using a street fighting move he'd learned as a kid. Lyra wasn't prepared. She fell to the floor, surprised. "Like that," Alex said, helping her up. "Humans mix styles. We improvise." Lyra's skin pulsed with a new pattern. "Show me more." Alex taught her boxing, wrestling, even dance moves that could be used in fighting. Lyra learned quickly, but sometimes her face showed confusion. "Why spin before striking?" she asked after Alex demonstrated a move. "It adds power," Alex explained. "But also it looks unexpected. It might make your opponent hesitate." "Psychological tactics," Lyra said with understanding. "We abandoned those long ago." As they trained together, Alex noticed Lyra changing. Her movements became more fluid. Her skin displayed more complex patterns. Sometimes she even laughed, a sound that made other Lumerians stare in shock. One day, a senior scientist named Mira asked to speak with them privately. "Princess, your transformation is accelerating," Mira said, showing them scan results. "Your neural pathways are rewiring. You are developing emotional centers similar to human brains." "Is it dangerous?" Alex asked. "Physically? No. Politically?" "Extremely," Mira said. "The High Council monitors all citizens. They will notice these changes soon." Lyra didn't seem surprised. "Then we must move faster with our plans." Later, in Lyra's private quarters, she showed Alex something she had kept hidden, a record of Earth communications since they had left. The news was grim. The Void had taken control of major cities. They were building strange structures to harvest Earth's resources. "Your military fought bravely," Lyra said. "But the Void's technology was too advanced." Alex watched footage of New York with Void ships hovering over it. His heart felt heavy. "Are there any reports from Boston? My family lives there." Lyra typed commands into her console. Images appeared of Boston under Void control. People were being processed through checkpoints, but they were alive. "The Void needs human workers," Lyra explained. "They won't harm civilians. Unless they resist." Alex felt both relief and anger. "We need to free them. We will. Our scientists have made progress using your genetic patterns. The weapons we're developing show promise. But will they be enough against the entire Void Collective?" Lyra was quiet for a moment. "There's something I haven't told you. Something few Lumerians know." She touched her console again. A new image appeared. A massive black sphere. "What is that?" Alex asked. "The Void Core. Their central consciousness. All Void units connect to it. If we could disrupt it, we could defeat them all at once," Alex finished. "Yes. But no Lumerian could ever get close enough. Our thought patterns are too recognizable to their systems." Alex understood immediately. "But a human might be able to." "Not just any human," Lyra said, looking at him intently. "You, Alex. Someone whose mind I've studied, whose patterns I know. Someone I could help shield." The idea was frightening, but also made sense. How would we even reach this core? With a small team, a stealth ship, and a plan the Void would never predict. Lyra's skin glowed with determination. But first, we need to complete your training. And I need to complete my evolution. Over the next weeks, their training intensified. Alex learned to operate Lemurian technology. Lyra learned to embrace emotions and unpredictability. Together, they developed new fighting styles that blended logic and instinct. They also grew closer. Lyra asked endless questions about human emotions. Describe happiness, she would say, or, what does anger feel like in your body? Alex did his best to explain. Sometimes words weren't enough, and he would show her instead, taking her hand when explaining comfort, or playing music to demonstrate joy. One night, after a particularly intense training session, they sat in the observation deck looking at distant Earth on the view screen. I received a report today, Lyra said quietly. The Void has established processing centers in major cities. They're harvesting humans. Alex felt cold. Harvesting? What does that mean? They're extracting neural patterns, not killing, but using human brains to study unpredictability. Anger rose in Alex. We need to move faster. We will. Lyra turned to him, and Alex was shocked to see moisture in her silver eyes. Are you crying? He asked in disbelief. She touched her face, surprised at the wetness. This is new. Lemurians don't cry. We lost that ability centuries ago. She looked at her damp fingers with wonder. The genetic modifications are working faster than anyone predicted. Is it hurting you? No, but it's changing me in ways I never expected. She looked at him. I feel everything now. Joy when we succeed in training. Fear when I think of the Void. And something else when I'm with you. What? Alex asked softly. I don't have a name for it yet. It's like warmth and fear and happiness all mixed together. Alex knew what she was describing, but wasn't sure if he should say it. Instead, he reached for her hand. Whatever happens, we'll face it together. Her skin glowed brighter where he touched her. The High Council would say these feelings make me weak. They're wrong, Alex said firmly. Feelings give us strength. They give us reasons to fight beyond just survival. Lyra moved closer to him. My people have survived for thousands of years without emotions, but we haven't truly lived. And now? Now I understand why humans fight so hard for their world. Why you care so deeply for your family, your home. Her voice grew softer. I want to help you save Earth, Alex. Not just because it's logical, but because I care. The words touched something in Alex's heart. Without thinking, he leaned forward and kissed her. Her skin glowed like a star, filling the room with light. When they parted, Lyra looked at him with wonder. That was a kiss, Alex explained, suddenly embarrassed. I'm sorry if that was wrong. It wasn't wrong, she said. It was illuminating. A soft alarm sounded from her console. Lyra checked it, her expression changing to concern. What is it? Alex asked. A message from one of my loyal officers. The High Council has requested reports on my condition. They suspect something. What will they do if they find out? Lyra's glow dimmed slightly. At best, they would remove me from command. At worst. She didn't finish, but Alex understood. Her emotional evolution was considered a defect, a danger to Lemurian logical purity. Then we need to move now, Alex said, before they can stop us. Lyra nodded. I'll gather my most trusted crew. We'll need a ship, weapons, and a plan so crazy the Void would never see it coming, Alex added. For the first time, Lyra smiled fully. A real, human-like smile that transformed her face. Yes, she agreed. A human plan. That night, as they worked on their strategy, Alex realized something had changed between them. What had begun as a strange abduction had become a partnership. And now, perhaps, something more. Whatever it was, he knew they would face the coming dangers together. The human who wished for an alien wife and the alien princess who was learning to feel. The plan was set. After weeks of preparation, Alex and Lyra had gathered a small team of trusted Lumerians who shared Lyra's vision of emotional evolution. Their mission: infiltrate the Void Core and upload a virus that would disrupt the hive mind. Connection. The night before they were to leave, Alex couldn't sleep. The mission was dangerous, maybe impossible. He walked the quiet corridors of the ship, thinking about Earth, about his family, and about Lyra. He found her in the ship's garden, sitting among strange, glowing plants. "Nervous?" he asked, sitting beside her. "Lumerians don't get nervous," she said, then smiled. "But yes, I am." Another new feeling to experience. "Having feelings before a dangerous mission is normal," Alex assured her. "It keeps you sharp." Lyra's skin rippled with light patterns. "The weapons are ready. The ship is prepared. The team is briefed." "Then we should try to rest," Alex suggested. "There's something I need to tell you first," Lyra said, her voice serious. "If something happens to me tomorrow—" "Nothing will happen," Alex interrupted. "We must be realistic. This mission is highly dangerous." Alex took her hand. In the weeks they had spent together, this simple gesture had become natural. "We'll protect each other. I want you to know," Lyra continued, "that meeting you changed everything for me. Before I only existed. Now I live." The words touched Alex deeply. He leaned forward to kiss her, but alarms suddenly blared throughout the ship. "Security breach," announced the ship's system. They ran to the command center. When the doors opened, they froze. Commander Vex of the High Council's security force stood there with armed guards. Behind them, Alex saw Lieutenant Kell, one of Lyra's officers, looking down at the floor. "Princess Lyra Solarian," Vex announced formally. "You are charged with genetic heresy and emotional contamination. The human will be contained for study." Guards moved to separate them. Alex tried to fight, but their weapons fired beams that paralyzed his muscles. He could only watch as they restrained Lyra. "How did you find out?" Lyra demanded, her skin flashing with angry light. "We've been monitoring your evolution," Vex replied with disgust. "Did you think we wouldn't notice? Your growing attachment to this creature. Your emotional corruption is complete." Alex's eyes found Lieutenant Kell, who still wouldn't look up. "You," he managed to say through paralyzed lips. "You betrayed her." Kell finally raised his eyes. "I reported unusual behavior, as is my duty. I didn't know the council would respond this way." "The mission must proceed," Lyra insisted as guards held her arms. "Earth is no longer our concern," Vex interrupted coldly. "The High Council has negotiated terms with the Void. We will surrender you and your aberrant faction in exchange for our safety." The words hit Alex like a physical blow. "You're making a deal with them? After what they've done?" "It is the logical choice," Vex said simply. "The Void only wants resources. They will leave Lumira alone if we give them what they want." "And what's that?" Alex demanded. "You," Vex said. "Humans, and any Lumerians contaminated with emotions. The Void finds you useful for study." Guards dragged Alex and Lyra in different directions. The last thing Alex saw was Lyra's face, her eyes filled with an emotion he had helped her discover: defiance. For 3 days, Alex was kept in a laboratory. Scientists took samples of his blood, scanned his brain, and asked endless questions about human emotions. He learned that the High Council feared Lyra's emotional evolution more than they feared the Void. To them, emotions meant chaos, the end of their logical society. On the 4th day, as scientists prepared more tests, the ship's alarms blared. The door to the lab exploded inward with a flash of light. Through the smoke stepped Lieutenant Kell with a squad of armed Lumerians. "The princess sends her regards," Kell said, tossing Alex a weapon. "We need to move quickly." "You?" Alex was confused. "But you betrayed us." "That's what we needed the council to believe," Kell explained as they ran through the corridors. "Princess Lyra suspected we were being watched. She planned this." "Planned being arrested?" Alex asked in disbelief. "She needed access to the council's command codes. My betrayal got her into their secure section. They reached a hangar where A small, sleek ship waited. Lyra stood at the ramp with a team of soldiers. When she saw Alex, her skin glowed brightly. "Your plan worked," Alex said as he reached her. "But you could have told me." "You needed to show genuine surprise," she explained. "The council would have detected deception." "What about Vex and the council?" "Contained but not harmed. We're not like them." As they boarded the ship, Alex noticed something about the soldiers with them. They all had the subtle glow of emotional awakening. "Your team," he said to Lyra. "They're all like you." "The evolution is spreading," she confirmed. "More Lumerians are choosing to feel, to live fully. We are the future of our species." The ship launched quickly, accelerating away from the larger Lumerian vessel. "Where are we going?" Alex asked. "To find the Void Core," Lyra said. "The council gave them Earth. I will not." But Vex said the deal was made. Vex doesn't speak for all Lumerians, not anymore. Lyra's face was determined. "I've sent messages to other ships, other commanders who think like we do. They will meet us near Earth." The small ship entered hyperspace, its engines humming with power. Lyra showed Alex their course on a holographic map, straight to Earth, where the Void Fleet was centered. "Our spies report that the Void Core ship has moved to Earth orbit," she explained. "They're directing the harvest of human neural patterns from there." "So that's where we'll find it," Alex said. "The heart of the Void." "Yes. And we now have everything we need to strike at it." Lyra led him to a secure room where scientists worked with strange equipment. They had created weapons that used human neural patterns to generate random energy fluctuations. The Void couldn't predict or counter them. "These will get us to the core," Lyra said. "But for the final part, we need you." She showed him a neural interface device. "This will connect your mind directly to the Void hive mind. Your human thought patterns will act like a virus, introducing chaos into their perfect system." Alex stared at the device. "Will it hurt?" "I won't lie to you. It will be intense. But we'll be connected. I'll help guide you." Before Alex could respond, a crew member called out, "Princess, incoming transmission from Lieutenant Kell's ship." On a screen, Kell's face appeared, tight with worry. "Princess, we've been betrayed. Commander Vex escaped and sent a message to the Void. They know. We're coming." Lyra's face hardened. "Then we change the plan. Instead of stealth, we attack directly." "That's suicide," Kell protested. "No," Lyra said. "It's human. Unpredictable. The one thing the Void can't prepare for." She looked at Alex. "Will you still do this?" Alex thought about Earth, about the people being harvested by the Void. He thought about Lyra and how she had risked everything to embrace feelings, to fight for what was right instead of what was logical. "Yes," he said firmly, "whatever it takes." As they prepared for the final approach to Earth, Alex found a moment alone with Lyra in the ship's control room. "If this works," he said, "what happens after? Between us?" Lyra's skin glowed with soft patterns. "In the old Lumerian way, I would say that question is irrelevant until we survive." "And in your new way?" She touched his face gently. "In my new way, I would say that question is why we fight to survive." Alex covered her hand with his. "When this is over, I want to show you Earth, the good parts. Mountains and oceans and cities, full of life." "I would like that," she said softly. The ship's system announced, "Approaching Earth space. Void fleet detected." On the view screen, they saw their home planet wrapped in darkness. Void ships surrounded it like black stars. "It's time," Lyra said. Together they walked to the bridge where their team waited for orders. Every Lumerian there showed signs of emotional awakening, their skin patterns more complex, their eyes more expressive. "Today we fight not just for Earth but for the soul of Lumira," Lyra told them. "For the right to feel as well as think, to love as well as live." She turned to Alex, who stood tall beside her. "Ready to show the Void what humans can do?" Alex nodded, his heart full of both fear and determination. "Let's bring the light back to both our worlds." The ship accelerated toward Earth, toward the waiting Void fleet, toward a battle that would decide the fate of two civilizations. As they flew into danger, Alex realized something important. He wasn't fighting just for Earth anymore. He was fighting for a future with Lyra, for a world where logic and emotion could exist together, and that was worth any risk. The small Lemurian ship raced toward Earth, diving between massive Void vessels, their weapons fired in patterns that confused Void targeting systems. "They can't predict our attack style," Lyra explained as the ship shook from a near miss. "We're mixing Lemurian precision with human randomness." On the main screen they could see their target, the largest Void ship, a sphere of darkness that seemed to swallow light around it. "The Void core is at the center of that ship," Lyra said. "We need to get inside." Lieutenant Kell's voice came through the comm system. "Princess, we've engaged the Void fleet at the North Pole. Their forces are dividing to respond." "Good," Lyra replied. "Keep them distracted." More Lemurian ships appeared, all commanded by officers loyal to Lyra. They had answered her call to fight, defying the High Council's orders. "We're approaching the core ship," the pilot announced. "Shields at maximum." Alex watched as Earth grew larger on the screen. His home looked different now, with strange dark structures built by the Void covering parts of continents. "Those are processing centers," Lyra said, seeing his gaze, "where they're harvesting human neural patterns." Alex felt anger rise in him. "Let's end this." Their ship fired special weapons developed from Alex's DNA. The unpredictable energy bursts cut through Void defenses, opening a path to the core ship. "We've got an entry point," the pilot called out. "Take us in," Lyra ordered. The ship dove through the opening, entering the massive Void vessel. Inside was darkness like nothing Alex had ever seen. Not just absence of light, but darkness that seemed alive, moving in patterns. "This is it," Lyra said quietly. "The living heart of the Void Collective." They landed in what seemed to be a docking area. Lyra turned to her team. "Secure the ship. Kell and his forces will continue the distraction outside." She led Alex and a small group of soldiers deeper into the Void ship. They carried the special weapons and the neural interface device. The hallways were strange, with walls that seemed to pulse like a heartbeat. "The Void aren't machines," Lyra explained as they moved carefully forward. "They're organic technology, evolved to think as one mind." They encountered Void drones, black, floating shapes that attacked with energy weapons. Lyra's team fought back with their unpredictable weapons, defeating the drones. "They can't adapt to our fighting style," one soldier said with surprise. "Because we're not fighting logically anymore," Lyra replied. "We're fighting with emotion, with instinct." They reached a massive chamber at the center of the ship. Inside was a huge, pulsating organic structure, like a giant brain made of darkness. "The Void hive mind," Lyra whispered, "the source of their consciousness." More drones appeared, surrounding them. The team took defensive positions, firing their weapons. "We need to get to the central node," Lyra shouted over the noise of battle. Alex looked at the giant brain-like structure, then at the neural interface device they had brought. "The virus won't work, will it?" he realized suddenly. Lyra fired her weapon at approaching drones. "What do you mean?" "Look at it, it's adapted already, it's changing its patterns." He was right. The organic computer was pulsing faster, its surface shifting as if to protect itself. "They've already analyzed our virus code," Lyra admitted. "They're changing to resist it," Alex thought quickly. "What if we overload it, not with data but with emotion?" Understanding dawned in Lyra's silver eyes. "The Lemurian genetic modifications changed our neural energy signature. If we could channel that energy directly into the Void hive mind, it would be like introducing chaos into a perfect system," Alex finished. "A human virus," Lyra said. "Not code, but feelings." She turned to her team. "Change of plan. We need to connect directly to the hive mind." The soldiers looked shocked. "Direct connection would be fatal," one protested. "Not necessarily," Lyra said. "My neural pathways have evolved. I might survive it." Alex grabbed her arm. No, it's too dangerous. It's our only chance, she insisted. My mind now bridges both worlds, Lumerian logic and human emotion. I'm the perfect weapon against them. While the team continued fighting off drones, they set up the neural interface near the central node of the hive mind. Lyra prepared to connect herself. There has to be another way, Alex said, still holding her arm. There isn't, she said softly, but I'm not afraid. For the first time in my existence, I understand what it means to fight for something beyond survival. Her hand touched his face. You wished for a wife like me. Now I wish for a future with you. Before he could stop her, she activated the connection. The interface attached to her head, and thin strands of light extended from it to the dark organic mass of the void mind. Lyra's body stiffened. Her skin flared with blinding light. Through the neural link, Alex felt fragments of her experience, the cold precision of the void consciousness being overwhelmed by waves of human emotion, love, hope, fear, rage, joy. Emotions the void had never encountered and couldn't process. Throughout the chamber, the dark organic matter began to pulse erratically. The drones attacking them suddenly stopped, floating aimlessly or crashing into walls. It's working. One of the soldiers called out. On their communication devices, they heard reports from outside. Throughout the solar system, void ships were faltering. Their perfect coordination was collapsing into chaos as the hive mind struggled against the emotional overload. But Lyra was suffering. Her body convulsed, her skin flaring with light so bright it hurt to look at her. Alex knew he had to do something or she wouldn't survive. Making a quick decision, he connected himself to the neural interface too. Immediately he felt the cold presence of the void mind, trying to analyze and control him. But he also felt Lyra, her consciousness like a star in the darkness. Together, they pushed against the void's control. Alex sent every emotion he could summon, his love for Earth, his fear for his family, his anger at the invasion, and his growing feelings for Lyra. The void consciousness recoiled from these chaotic inputs, unable to process or predict them. When the feedback became too intense, Alex disconnected both of them from the interface. Lyra collapsed into his arms, her light dimmed to a faint glow. For one terrible moment, he thought she was gone, until her eyes fluttered open, now a swirling mix of silver and blue. Did it work? She whispered. Yes, he said, holding her close. Look. Around them, the void ship was shutting down. The organic technology was withering, unable to function without the controlling hive mind. We need to get out of here, Alex told the team. This whole place is dying. They carried Lyra back to their ship and escaped just as the massive void core vessel began to collapse in on itself. From space, they watched as other void ships drifted powerlessly or retreated from Earth. All void ships are showing signs of system failure, reported a crew member. The hive mind connection has been severed. Earth's liberation took weeks. Without their central consciousness, the void forces couldn't coordinate. Some fought on, but most simply shut down. Lemurian ships, joined by Earth's recovering military, worked together to remove the remaining void presence. As humans emerged from occupation, they found new allies in Lyra's evolved Lemurians. The two species began working together to rebuild Earth and establish a new alliance. The Lemurian High Council was dissolved after their deal with the Void was revealed. A new government formed, with Lyra playing a key role as ambassador to Earth. Her faction of emotional Lemurians grew as more of her people chose to reclaim what they had lost centuries ago. Alex helped coordinate Earth's recovery efforts. His knowledge of both human and Lemurian ways made him valuable to the new alliance. But more importantly, he stayed close to Lyra as she adjusted to her fully evolved emotional state. It's overwhelming sometimes, she told him as they walked through a recovering forest outside Boston. Feeling everything so intensely. That's being human, Alex said. You learn to live with it. I'm not human, she reminded him with a small smile. I'm something new. We both are. 6 months after the defeat of the Void, Earth and Lumira formalized their alliance. As part of the ceremony, Lyra and Alex announced their own union, a bonding that followed both human and Lumirian traditions. The night before the ceremony, they stood on a balcony much like the one where they had first truly spoken, back when the Lumirians had first arrived on Earth. Above them, ships from a dozen worlds gathered in Earth's orbit, the beginning of a new coalition. "Do you remember what you said that first night?" Lyra asked, her skin glowing softly in the darkness. "I made a wish," Alex said, a pretty inappropriate one looking back. "You wished for a wife like me," she said, "and here we are." "I never expected it to come true," he admitted, "especially not like this." Lyra took his hand, her skin brightening where they touched. "Do you regret it? Making that wish come true?" Alex looked at her. This alien princess who had changed everything, who had helped save his world, who had taught him as much about being human as he had taught her. "Logic would say it was irrational," he said with a smile. "But I've learned that the most valuable things in existence often are," she finished. Above them, a shooting star crossed the sky, just as one had on that first night. "Make another wish?" Lyra suggested. Alex shook his head. "I don't need to. I already have everything I could wish for. I wish I had a wife like her," he had whispered long ago, never expecting an answer.